It's the same deal. If you've lost your identification papers in the desert, how can you prove to Western Union that you're Jose Villegas Corona, you know? Because you have no way of proving that, and they're not going to give you your money just because you say that's who you are. So we'll have the money sent to us, you know, and we'll get the migrant his money for them. I just can't think. Things are always coming up. It's always an adventure here. As I say, we've dealt with 30,000 migrants. I always joke, I say, can you imagine if we had a little center like this in the U.S. somewhere, and we were trying to help unemployed Americans, and we had like thousands of Americans come through. Can you imagine how many of those Americans would be nasty, mean, demanding, if not just downright crazy, you know, unemployed Americans? But of the 30,000 people we've had here, we've hardly ever had a situation where we've had anybody in here who was obstreperous or who was rude or who was asking special attention. The good humor and gentle camaraderie that we see amongst migrants is very heartening to us.
Your hours have diminished, or you're closing. You're starting later in the day and closing earlier. There's a reason for that.
Yeah, right now I'll tell you what's going on. We're not getting any migrants at all. See, we average something like 50 to 100 a day when we're cooking here. But now for the next few months, everyone who gets picked up in our sector is going to be processed, taken to Tucson, and 600 a day are being flown in a giant plane to Mexico City. No matter where they live, no matter where they want to go, they have no choice in the matter. They're getting returned to Mexico City, and those that don't make the plane are getting pushed back into Nogales. So they've completely taken our migrants away from us. I don't think it's anything personal against us. It's their way of spending down their vast amount of money at the end of their fiscal year. And this program will go through September is what we're told. That's the end of their fiscal year, and they budgeted it out for those 2 flights a day. It's 2 flights a day, I'm sorry, not one. 1,200 people a day. And so we're not getting any migrants at all, except certain migrants that, for instance, were returned in Nogales and made their way back here because they've either heard we have a good center here or they have a connection here who owes them a good crossing.
Peter, this is a downtime right now, we understand, but you'll be busy again soon. It's really busy during the time when they're not trying to spend down their money. And of course the idea behind the U.S. Border Patrol spending down their money is to ensure that they're going to be awarded at least the amount they were awarded the previous year for their following fiscal year budget.
Sure.
So my question to you is, when it gets busy in here, I mean, is it just you and one other person? Who's doing the work?
Yeah, we're a group of volunteers. There's about maybe 12 to 15 active volunteers. We always have 2 in here at a time. One of us has to speak Spanish. The other one doesn't necessarily have to speak Spanish, but we're learning as we go. I have very rough Spanish, but believe me, I can do the work here. So 2 of us handle it, and we may have 2 or 3 van loads, and that's like can be 20, 25 people in here all of a sudden on a rainy, cold day. We got this entire room packed with people, and we're looking after their needs. We also do an amazing job of taking information. We identify people, we find out where they're going, we find out where their home is, we find out their ages, we ask how they were treated by Border Patrol, if they were abused by Border Patrol. We have government forms now where we make reports of these abuses, and this is in a way our primary job here. It's humanitarian work, but it's also tracking the Border Patrol. And we've talked to the very highest levels of Homeland Security. They like very much that we do track Border Patrol, because Homeland Security can get in a lot of trouble if they have rogue officers out there doing bad things to people. They really don't want that themselves. So we wondered at first what their reaction would be when we started filing these abuse reports, and the Civil Rights Office of Homeland Security was like, good work, good work.
That's good. This is Carlos Galindo, Radio Casa, 1540 and 580 AM, and KXXT 1010 AM. We're with Peter Young on the Mexican side of the border, and we're doing an interview with Peter regarding what they do here at this wonderful center. We found it. We were not even aware of this center being here. We were just led here, whether it be karma, whether you believe in the Lord, whatever it was, we were drawn to this center. Carmen and I, my wife, did not have any intention of crossing the border today. We were doing monitoring the border. We were looking for, and we still are, the Cochise County Militia, and we will be returning to try and locate them and record them. We've seen a lot. We've interviewed folks in Naco, Arizona, Douglas. We're on our way to Bisbee as well. We still have yet quite a bit to do, but we're going to continue our interview here with Peter Young. I have a couple other questions for him.